fifth grade, we're starting lesson 2-2 today on rounding whole numbers and decimals. It is found on page 34 and 35 of your textbook. Have your spiral out and ready with your heading, and please let's start with today's objective. Your objective today is that I can use place value understanding to round whole numbers and decimals to any place. That's our objective. Get it copied at the top of your notes. I can use place value understanding to round whole numbers and decimals to any place. Okay, then I want to draw your attention to the top of page 34, where you have your title, Rounding Whole Numbers and Decimals. It says, how can you round whole numbers? We're going to go through both examples first, fifth grade, visually in your book together, and then you will take notes. So for right now, just be with me at the top of page 34. It says, rounding replaces one number with another number that tells how many or how much. And they want you to round 634 to the nearest hundred. You will see one way there to show rounding is to draw a number line there. So you have a number line there. The number is 634. So you see they put 600 on the left side, 650 in the middle, and 700 on the right side. And then they put 634 in there on the number line where it would belong. So now you can look at that number line. Is 634, is it closer to 600 or is it closer to 700? Look at that picture. Yeah, you will see 650 is halfway and it's before that, so it will be closer to 600. So 634 rounded to the nearest hundred is what? Yes, it's 600. All right, now go to the top of page 35. That was one way, showing a number line. Now on the top of page 35, they give you another way, and they have broken it down into steps. Step number 1 says find the digit in the rounding place and underline this digit. So 634, what number is in the hundreds place? Yes, the 6. Good job. That's your first step, and then you underline it. Now go to step 2 in the text, right in the middle of your page there. Step 2 then is to look at the digit to the right of the rounding place. And you will see there they put a little arrow there. That's what you should do as well, so you can know exactly what number you're looking at to choose which way to round. It says if this digit is 5 or greater, you add 1 to that rounding digit. Okay? So let's look at that number. 3. Is that 5 or greater? No, it is not. So we're not going to add 1 to 6. The second part says if that digit is less than 5, leave the rounding digit alone. So 3 is less than 5, so 6 is going to stay the what? Yes, it's going to stay the same. Okay, then your step 3 says change all the digits to the right of the rounding digit to 0. So if 6 stays the same, what happens to the 3 and the 4? Yes, they change to zeros. Okay, fifth grade, what type of number is 634? Is it a whole number or a decimal? Yes, a whole number. So those steps that we just took through are your steps on how to round a whole number. You can either take it and write a number line, or you can go through the steps. Okay, at this time, if you have a question about rounding a whole number, put it down, jot it down right underneath your objective for me. Okay, before we write the rest of our notes, I want you to go to page 34, where it says another example. Now this is the steps to how to round decimals. It says, how do you round 2 and 36/100ths to the nearest tenth? It says think. Again, they first gave you an example using a number line. They have 2 and 3/10, and they have 2 and 4/10. And they put 2 and 36/100ths on the number line. So they want you to think, is 2 and 36/100ths closer to 2 and 3/10 or 2 and 4/10? Look at that number line, fifth grade. Where is it closer? 2 and 3/10 or 2 and 4/10? Yes, you will see it is closer to 2 and 4/10. That's one way. Now let's look at the steps. Step 1, it says find the rounding place. Look at the digit to the right of the rounding place. That's the same step, fifth grade, is it not, as rounding a whole number? Yes, it is. So you find the number you're rounding, you underline it. Then you look to the right. The digit to the right is going to tell you how to round. Step 2, you will see, fifth grade, is the same for decimals as it is for whole numbers. If the digit is 5 or greater, you add 1 to the rounding digit. If the digit is less than 5, you leave the rounding digit alone. So here, since 6 is greater than 5, we're going to add 1 to the 3. So we know now that 3 will become a what? Yes, a 4. Good job. Now, step 3 here is different. For decimals, the last step is different. When we rounded a whole number, all the digits at the end went to zeros. Okay, and for step 3 for decimals, we need to drop the digits to the right of the rounding digit.
Move for a second.
Oh.
Thank
That's
you.
okay, we're going to get that later.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so step 3, we're going to drop the digits to the right of the rounding digit. So 2 and 36 hundredths rounds to 2 and 4 tenths.